Welcome back to this Let's Play of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. Last time we were exploring the dormitories and we ran into a lot of droids. This time, hopefully, we'll get some answers. I gained a level last time and, you know, there are some issues actually with playing Consular. One of the downsides of playing Consular is you often pick up more force powers than you actually, you know, have available powers to pick. In this case, I had to pick up Stun, which I will probably never use. The only reason I'm picking it up, instead of getting something just purely random, like, you know, Mind Trick, which is fun to play around with, is because it's a light side power, and the way being light side or being dark side works is that you have the option of, well, you have the ability to use powers at much cheaper prices if they're of the right side. So a dark side character can use force damage very cheaply, and a light side character can use, you know, well, destroy droid is sort of the but, you know, the dark side powers are generally actually better when it comes down to things you're going to spam. Most of the light side powers are buffs, or cure, which, I mean, I guess it's nice to be able to cast that cheaply, but if you're playing light side, you're really going to have to be focusing more on hitting people rather than trying to beat them with force powers. Pick up our key again, go through these lockers. Now, in general, later in the game, I'm going to make sure I have somebody who has the skill to actually pick locks at all times, but at this point I just don't have the option. Some of those I could probably pick if I'd actually bothered to get even 1-point security skill, but honestly, you know, all I'm losing out on is a little bit of junk and a little bit of XP, and, well, they're just not that important to me. The breath mask there has a comment that there have been problems with the air filtration systems, which, you know, I guess we're gonna find out about those in gory detail in a second. But that's a very handy item. It gives you immunity to poison. Not super important, but it's better than the 5 resistance to Sonic, which is redundant with our force power anyways. So I'll use that. The only disadvantage is it looks silly, but hey, you know, vanity isn't everything. There's a comment there about a hidden compartment in the dormitory. We're not actually going to be able to get it. It would require an explosive skill to get it, so... Hey look, Korta. One of the other logs that I didn't actually bother to play mentions Korta as somebody who was involved in trying to sell the Jedi to the exchange. The terminal behind us is locked. We're going to need a passcode to get through it. And so let's go get that. I'm actually switching to using the vibro cutter in my offhand and the longsword in my main hand instead of using flurry. It's more or less the same. I'm still getting 2 attacks that are about the same damage, but I don't have the AC penalty, and I already have an AC penalty from Zabrak Grip, and so it's a question of how much AC do I really want to lose? Well, I don't have very much dexterity, and Jedi defense does not give a lot. This armor is not really armor even. So let's talk to the shift assignment console. Now, once again, you have the option of using a part or a spike. There are a couple terminals like this in this area. Always use parts. And we'll just end the emergency lockdown of the dormitory. And log out. And we have our usual friendly mining droids. Actually, this one is using a, it is a Mark II, but it is using, it's a red beam, so energy resistance will work against it. The ones that have the white beams won't, so. Now, normally we would be taking poison damage, but we've got the gas mask on. So there's a log here. There's a couple of those logs scattered around the dormitory, but it's pretty clear that the miners are not they are challenged in living functions. So, let's loot their corpses. That's, you know, what we do in video games, right? Dang it. That Guidon beacon there is another item that was added in the restoration project. It's another low-quality weapon that is not... it's still trying to open up the thing. It's another low-quality weapon that they created for the original area. These mining lasers are sort of the primary sort of low-quality weapons. This damaged door here I can't open because I don't have the skill to use mines. Oh well, you know. Grand scheme of things, I really don't care. There's some junk back there, but it's random junk, and it's not even particularly good random junk, so... nothing to lose sleep over. The whole thing about using mines to open doors, you can do it later on with just locks in general, but there are not very many places where you have to use mines to open things, where you can't even attempt to pick the lock. That's sort of a function that's almost unique to this area. I think there might be one or two more later in the game, but for the most part, later in the game, if you can't get into a container, you can either pick the lock or just bash it open. And we get a couple more logs here. Now, I'm actually not going to watch all of these logs, because if you watch them, you lose them, and if you don't watch them, you get all of one component. So, I don't know if that's really a big deal, but they don't really add anything all that useful anyways, so might as well just have the one component. Oh, right. This refresher here, looks like a sink to me, but I don't know why they call it a refresher, but maybe they need a refresher in what the common English language terms are. That broken log terminal there can't help us, but all these logs can be played at the terminal on the other side here. So let's play a couple. And there's a couple of them that are sort of more interesting than others. Some of them, as I said, I'm just going to break down without ever actually reading them. Before we start playing our logs, let's search for logged display entries, which is the first option here. And it says no logged, so oh well. There's a transmission coming in. Let's look at that. And there's a code here, and if you have intelligence, you can sort of look at it and identify that it's a flash code. And more or less what the comment there is saying is that each of these symbols represents a number. So, if you're curious, dots are 1s, dashes are 10s, X's are 5s. That X is 5 is really sort of, I mean, who would make a code like that? I don't know. I mean, it's not, I guess it's been a long time since the Roman Empire. Or I guess it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, so maybe the Roman Empire hasn't happened yet. Anyway, let's look at the minor hololog, which was encrypted. And there's a private comlink message.
What did you want to talk to me about? I have to suit up and drill the 3219K asteroid claim within the hour, so talk quick.
I heard you had plans for the Jedi, about selling her to the exchange.
Yeah, but security already set their piece on that, didn't they? Nobody's getting sold to anyone.
Are they? I've seen the logs you've been accessing. Maybe the two of us could work something out.
It doesn't matter what we work out. We wouldn't make one hyperspace jump before what's left of the Republic was on us.
If you have a way off this station, I can cover our tracks, and ensure the Republic is not alerted to our presence.
Well, I may know someone. Works the system on special jobs. He may want to know details, but I might be able to arrange transport.
I've seen the logs. I know you've already asked him and given the details. Once he agrees, I can handle the rest.
Handle the rest? Like how?
When the time comes, I'll contact you via comlink. Maintenance out.
Since when did the maintenance officer grow some horns?
We've met the maintenance officer, and we know that there's another person using his voice. I wonder. Well, we'll have to wonder next time.